Obviously, a unique game there. I think that Stetson obviously had a lot of young guys that they're playing and trying to get playing time. I thought our guys came out with good life, good energy. That first group kind of set the tone with how we wanted to play the whole night, and they deserve a lot of credit for that. And as I said, I think in talking to Donnie, he's got a lot of young guys that he's transitioning into the program as his first year. We wish them well as they move forward. We'll move from here and work on getting better here tomorrow.
How hard is it to keep that tone when you're up 28-3?
Yeah, it's that's, you know, you're really trying to stay committed to how you want to play, and with playing a variety of guys, and you know, you're trying to keep guys accountable for doing the things you expect them to do, effort, and playing through. And I thought it was good because we had a couple opportunities there where we got beat to loose balls and got beat on the glass and stuff that we definitely need to do better.
Well, getting Andre back and getting him in, what has it been like, I guess, working him back into action, and where is he as he kind of gets back to the player he was before the injury?
Well, if you've had a chance to look at him, his eye is still pretty bloodied up. He's such a tough kid, and has an incredibly high pain tolerance. But he's been medically cleared. He was medically cleared for contact 2 days ago, and you know, I just kind of want to bring him along slowly. I want him to get back into a rhythm of playing. I think we need him, obviously, to get back, you know, as quickly as he can into a rhythm of playing. And I thought he was able to do that some tonight.
Chris, Kyle was 5 for 5, and I just told him he has 47 points on 23 shots this year.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
I know he's always been like an energy guy for you and really good at getting put back, but it seems like he's added more to that. It seems like you can throw it to him now and he can go get his own shot too, and he made that 3. Just how have you seen him add to his offensive game while maintaining that crazy level of efficiency? You
know, he's really worked on his free throw shooting, for one. I think that's been a real improvement. You can see it's a smoother shot, better touch. He's relaxing more at the line. We have tried to throw him the ball in the post some. He's done a good job. He's got to continue to get better at finishing over size, the kind of size he's going to consistently see. I think that's going to be critical, but I don't want to make too much of it. What he's really done is played off of others really well and used his athleticism and his energy to impact the game on both ends. And he's fresh. You know, one of the things I felt like with his injury wore him down, and just physically he wore down a little bit last year. And that I'm just a little bit mindful of can we limit some of that this year?
And I'm sure you don't look at the 9 blocks you had tonight and see that as something that can translate automatically, but it does seem like you are blocking more shots on the whole this year, like 20-something, I think, in the 4 games. Is that something you've noticed with you guys defensively, and did you anticipate maybe you might have that a little more of that element this year?
E.J. Liddell has elite timing on his. You saw that in high school.
Yeah.
His ability to block shots. So he adds that. I think he had 3 tonight. 4. So he does add an element of timing. He's got longer arms. He has a little bit of that Cato effect where you think you can get it over him, and then you're like, whoa, that thing just keeps going. So he's got good timing. He's got good length. And then Caleb has affected more shots this year than I think he did last year. But I think the addition of EJ in particular, I think Ibrahima and Zoe will get there as they continue to get, you know, a better understanding of the pace of play. And EJ will too.
Chris, Adam touched on focus and being up so big so early. Do you watch the film beyond that point, or is there a point in time in this game where you just turn the film off and say, let's move on to the next point? Or do you use it still as like a learning experience with bad habits and things like that?
Yeah, it's a valid question. And if I was being honest with you, I would say I'm gonna watch this. I'm going to certainly put edit together on plays that we need to do better, and edit situations, busted plays. We had a busted play there right before the end of the first half. But there'll be a point to where we'll move on to practice and practice film. And, you know, it will be useful, but there'll be a point to where it won't be useful.
As the scoreboard keeps piling up, how much, in the back of your mind, do you worry about those bad habits, and how much do you have to drill those things out of guys?
Yeah, I think you always worry about that in games like this, always. And it's why, you know, I think you're always mindful of that with your schedule. But we knew this would be a young team that's rebuilding. It's the youngest and most rebuilding team that we're gonna play. Yeah, you're always mindful of that. I think that's why we need to have a good practice. We have tomorrow off, but a really good practice here moving forward.
Obviously, Kentucky showed us that anything can happen
Yeah.
against anybody, but when you're playing this stretch of games where like you're clearly the more talented team, and some of these younger guys are probably gonna get extended opportunities. Like in the second half, what are you looking for from them, like especially like Alonzo and Ibrahima, who got extended opportunities?
Yeah, I think, you know, what I was trying to do with Ibrahima in particular was reward the fact that he's had pretty consistent practice habits. And if you don't have consistent practice habits and you're young, I'm sorry, I'm not going to play you. As long, like, he's had consistent, now, he's got to perform and do some things better, but what I was hoping to do with him, he hasn't missed a day of practice. He's been consistent, his attitude's been pretty good. I wanted to reward that with giving him some early time tonight. I think guys, sometimes, young guys, you feel like practice is just practice. It's extremely important. We're evaluating it every single minute we are in between the lines. And we're making determinations on who we can trust based on their effort and their habits in practice. And I think we've got some guys that have to continue to understand that.
You were talking about limiting sort of Kyle and the way he played. It just sounds like you were talking about limiting Kyle being Kyle and sort of the balance between you don't want to do that, yet at the same time you want to make sure that he's fresh for the entire year. So how do you as a coach approach that?
With his energy and he uses his legs so much, right? And I don't know that I can limit it, to be honest with you. Because that's who he is as a player, is using his live legs and his energy. I hope maybe more depth there. EJ providing critical minutes, and then more depth across the front line. I'm hoping that can help. Whereas last year he was thrust into that, when Micah left, he was really thrust into that backup post role that I think he just wore down, and we played him a lot of minutes. I don't know that his minutes will be impacted too much, but I'm leery of that because of kind of what he went through last year.
Chris, I was just going to say, Stetson's coach had mentioned that he thinks that Kyle Ewing's the kind of guy who doesn't care about what kind of stats he has. I was just wondering, as you as his coach, what is your favorite statistic for Kyle Ewing to record?
He's really about W's, really. He's really about the final score. It's a good observation by Donnie, and I think people that watch Kyle Young, we have great kids, but when you really dig into Kyle's story and his life, it's pretty special, and he's a pretty special kid, and I'm glad he's getting rewarded in how he plays. He really just, loves Ohio State, man. He just loves Ohio State. And he'll tell you, he was really homesick his first month and a half here in the summer. Really, really homesick. I remember going to BW3s with him 3 or 4 times, and like, come on, man, can't go back to mom right now. Like, you got to stick this thing out. And you know, come spring, he was like, Coach, thank God you had those lunches with me. You know, you talked some sense into me, because he's having a great time now.
Just want to follow up on that real quick. You said if we dig into his life, we'll uncover some really cool things. Is there something beyond those lunches that you're talking about?
Well, you know, he lost his father, and it's a terrific family, and you know, he just you can tell how much playing here means to him. You know, you can just, as is the case with a lot of our guys, and not just Ohio kids, but you can just tell how much playing here means to him.
Stephen asked you what you expect to see from the players when you guys are up quite a bit. What are you looking for from the coaching staff? Is there a temptation to try things there, to look at things you might not otherwise do in a closer game?
You know, you're looking at rotations. You're being mindful of not showing too much offensively. You know, at the same time, trying to work on some of your execution stuff. But, you know, you're just trying to be really mindful of, you know, not. As a coach, you very rarely feel like the game's in hand, but once you do feel like it's in hand, you want to pump the brakes on showing too much.
So none of Brian Peen's dunk plays?
Yeah, no, he tried to draw up one, and I shut it down, so.
Coach, this group, considering the relative youth of it, is it further ahead than you thought defensively, or had surprised you defensively, and what has been working with this group through 4 games?
I think we have older guys. The Wesson, CJ, and Kyle, I think have been really committed to how we want to play. So they deserve the credit for that. But I think too small sample size right now to see. I was asked that before the game on what kind of defensive team do you think you have. I think it's too small sample size. You know, we play an IPFW team that beat these guys by, I think, 26, and we play a terrific Kent State team and a Morgan State team that just won at George Washington. So I think we'll continue to learn as we go through some of this.
It's November 18, probably doesn't mean a whole lot, but both the coaches in the AP put you in the top 10 today. And just the second time since you've been here that happened. Your last day was in and out pretty quick after that Cada game at Purdue. They put you in for 1 week, I think.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, and then right back out after Penn State, I think, at Penn State. But
Thanks.
I know it doesn't mean the whole world today, but just your thought.
At Penn State. Appreciate you bringing that up there.
Well, those are just the idea that you're mentioned alongside Louisville, Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, Villanova, these other top schools that are always in the top 10. Ohio State's there, whatever it means today.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Ask me in a couple months. But I understand your point. I think it's probably good for, you know, recruiting in some ways, Steve, but I really don't care.
Your point guards, CJ and DJ, each dropped 5 dimes with 3 turnovers between the 2 of them. How have you assessed their playmaking?
Good. I think they've done a good job taking care of the ball, sharing the ball, finding guys, being intentional about finding guys. I think they've really done a good job of kind of looking to find guys, find shooters. I've been pleased with both guys, and when they play together, they've done a good job of that too.
Hey Coach, this is Okan with FX1 Radio. You have an international player
Yes.
on your team.
Yes.
I'm from.
How'd he do in the interview? How'd he do in the media here today?
Oh, you did pretty well.
Good.
How do you think that has helped from international perspective of recruiting, and also whenever I've seen him play. Whenever he step on the floor, looks like the crowd is just going
Yeah.
bananas in a sense.
We got so many great kids, but he's kind of a crowd favorite, I think, in a lot of ways. Because he plays really hard, and he practices really hard. He just has to have a better understanding of how we want to play. And that's gonna be, we knew he was gonna be a work in progress. And he's got a long ways to go, but I think you see glimpses that he's getting there in some ways. And he's gotta keep the right attitude, and he has. And like I said, he's not missed a minute of practice since we started the year. He's not been out one time. He just has been really consistent, and I hope that continues to get rewarded. We love having him a part of our program.
And one more question. How do you help him not be too homesick?
Well, he was blessed. He got to go home, and you probably knew that. He got to go home in the summer. But he's been away from his family for a while now, and I know that's been hard on him. But he's been away from his family. That's why it was such an emotional video that he sent back to me, and I put on social media about him going back home. But it's a hard thing. But he came here with an idea of wanting to play a high level of college basketball, and he's playing it.
Chris, you mentioned DJ and CJ playing well together. That alley-oop, did you draw that up, or
Yeah.
is that just them clicking?
No, it was a great cut by DJ and a great vision by CJ. We tried to move some guys around their zone a little bit, and that's part of us kind of continuing to play. We got to continue to play those guys together and multiple combinations on the perimeter together so they get more comfortable in situations like that.
Were you satisfied with the way the team came out? Because Villanova could have given them a big hangover. They had
Yeah.
5 days to realize how good they are. What about the way this team's handling?
Good, but I think it's a constant work, and I think mature teams and really good teams have a standard. I was telling them I watched a couple teams past week that they just play the way they play. They play every time, regardless of who they play the way they play, and it's really impressive. But I think our older guys deserve all the credit for that, all of it, because they're the one that sets the tone. Our older guys deserve all the credit. Now, here as we move forward, and we have some games that we're going to need to approach the right way. We'll see if we do.
I believe the shot did not go in, but what did you make of Danny's between the legs behind his back pass to Justin? If you were paying attention.
Yeah, those kind of plays are a lot better when the ball goes in. But Danny is a senior who has worked his tail off. So I try to give him a little bit of leverage when it comes to that. But it was interesting. That's for sure. I can't say I've seen that a whole lot in practice. So it was interesting.
Okay, all right, thanks.
All right, thanks, guys.